episodes in.
Hi guys, welcome back to the RUMA Mill here with Rosé and Uma, season 1, episode 5.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Good afternoon. Good evening. What's going on? I hope y'all get ready for this show tonight. We got a good show going on.
We do. There's been so much going on in the real world that I feel like we have so much to talk about tonight, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But I'm going to try my best to talk and not die out here because I was sick all week last week and Rosé was awesome in helping to take care of me. So I'm very appreciative, but I still have a cough and hopefully I make it through.
Speaking about, so that's a good way to kind of start the show off, even though it wasn't on topic. It's been 4 years now, right? And I've been reading, and they said that in the last 4 years, people, all kind of people, human beings from the ages of like 15 to like 64 with no health issues just been dropping dead. So I want to know, you was just sick, right? And I was sick for a day out of your 6 days of sickness.
Right.
What's the difference between me and you being sick?
I know what no, he's gearing it.
I'm asking a question.
No,
I'm not. I'm asking you.
He wants me to say that I got the vaccine and he did not get the vaccine.
Listen, I'm just saying, like, it's just funny that the Surgeon General in Philly, not in Philly, in Florida. You see Rosé? I think Rosé just be playing music. Rosé reads. The Surgeon General of Florida is trying to ban the vaccines because it has cancerous DNAs in it. And I don't know, they say a lot of people catching cancer out of nowhere. So I'm just saying, just study the known if you don't know the unknown. Only thing that changed in 4 years is that vaccine. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. Night Owl, what's up? How you feeling?
Okay,
Welcome in.
we don't do that while we're on the podcast, babe. But you could wave for them. You could wave. But listen, the only reason I got the vaccine was because I had a family trip planned to France and they were not letting anybody into France without the vaccine. And I was so mad because I wasn't planning on getting the vaccine, but we had to get into France. And I was so mad about that. But I will say that is something that we have noticed. Whenever we get sick in this household, Rosé bounces back after 1 day and he did not get the vaccine. I got the vaccine and it took me out the whole week. And I still am having problems breathing. So
Z, welcome in. Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Okay, are we going to interrupt the podcast every time somebody comes in? I'm just asking a question.
No, I got to look this way and not this way. All right.
Thank you. Welcome in, everybody. This is the RUMA Mill with Uma and Rosé, and let's get into it. What is our first topic of the night? I want to talk about this craziness, this absolute horror that is going on in the WWE. Is it WWE or WWF?
Just wrestling, you could say now, because there's so much branches of it.
In the wrestling world, Vince McMahon, oh my God, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. So if you live on under a rock and you haven't heard, there are multiple SA allegations against Vince McMahon. They are very disgusting. Some of these stories are just chilling me to the bone. Have you guys heard about it? Those of you that are watching live, have you heard about what's been going on with Vince McMahon? Of course, he's been accused of SA.
SA.
Yeah. SA. And you know, with the female wrestlers, of him abusing the female wrestlers and then passing the female wrestlers around to his friends and whatnot. Um, the one story I heard that just really made me sick was a female wrestler said that she was forced to have relations with him and a friend, and he went number 2 on her, and he went to shower and he forced her to keep having, you know, relations with his friend while she had this stuff in her hair and on her back. And then he came back out and forced her to continue satisfying him while she had all of this on her. I don't know.
Tough times, man. Nasty times. It's just like I felt. First of all, I feel like a lot of like these strong, powerful businessmen, these people that like was always winning. It was always something off about Vince McMahon to me. I'm a avid wrestling fan. I like wrestling. I used to like it a lot when I was a kid.
Kid, right?
And while you watched it though, you always notice Vince McMahon going like off the register when it came to him and female interactions. Like even in the acting, he was playing like a real character because he was always being disrespectful, degrading, and all that to the women. So this is not nothing that I wouldn't say that. Like you know how you would say, if you got a friend and something come up with a friend and you be like, nah, I don't expect that from you. You know, you got that. I expect that from Vince McMahon. And with that being said, it's just 2024. Once again, it's like everything's coming out and pause. Everything's coming out and pause again. And you just gotta, make sure you got all your closet clean, your skeletons, all that stuff because I mean, as a person, you shouldn't allow nobody to do that to you anyway, but I understand this. I don't understand, but I sympathize with the circumstances. So that's what I gotta say about that. He gonna see his day in court, and you just gotta know have a line in your life or something where you be like, no, I'm not doing this, or no, I won't allow myself in these energies or in these situations.
I mean, his own daughter, Stephanie McMahon, there's an old interview with her where she said that, but she wasn't talking about him in a negative way. She was just saying, oh, you know, like my dad's crazy. He wanted to do a storyline where me and him had a baby. And she had to say, absolutely not, absolutely no way. And then he said, well, what about you and your brother had a baby as a storyline? And she's like, again, absolutely not. And, you know, like she just thought her dad was crazy and wild. Like she didn't really think anything about it. I wonder what she's thinking now. And I wonder what, you know, what's coming out about how she feels about her father and everything else. But do you think he's going to jail or do you think he's going to beat the rap on all of this?
He'll probably go to jail. Not like to me, this is the year of them. This is the year of these like corporate bosses, these upper echelon people getting found out. And he may not go to jail, but somebody's going to jail. You understand? Like it gotta be some now. Gotta be some consequences because the money ain't doing enough. These people gotta go to jail. You gotta make an example of these people because if they feel like, oh, you just telling people, yo, if I make enough money, I could do what I want. I'll probably pay a fine, a big hefty fine, but I'm not gonna do no jail time. So I don't wish jail on people, but I don't wish jail on nobody. But sometimes you gotta take accountability, and they gotta get a crueler punishment than just money. To me,
So Savage Cook said he should definitely go to jail. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's nuts. And, it's sad because, again, bringing it back to women in the workforce, women being held down, and, that glass ceiling, it's a little annoying as a woman hearing that. Excuse me, again, another man in the corporate world, is pretty much saying to women, you can't get ahead unless you give ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get ahead unless you give ahead, or something like that, to that nature. And it's disconcerting. It's making me lose faith in, is there any company out there where one woman could come forward and say, I made it to the top, and I didn't have to do anything crazy. Does anybody know, like, just off the top of your head, any company? Because even in the spiritual circles, right? For those of you that don't know, I'm in the spiritual circles, and there's, again, been a lot of essay accounts, like John of God in Brazil, who was thought to be a fate healer, who was thought to be a miracle healer. Come to find out, he was also abusing women down in Brazil, and he went to jail as well. So it's just, every area you look, there's men exploiting women, and I'm getting sick of it. So I do hope that Vince McMahon gets his just desserts in jail. In jail. You like how I did that? Kind of like a double entendre. I don't know.
It was nice.
So, in other news, I'm not actually a big sports fan, but I think I have to mention it because what was going on with these two teams going to the Super Bowl? You were saying something about this is fixed.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I'm starting to think the NFL. Well, it is entertainment. It might be fixed, but to say that without proof is kind of crazy. But what I'm seeing, my eyes, you gotta believe what you see, and that didn't make no sense for Detroit. Now, in the first game with Kansas City and Baltimore, it was more of a like head-to-head game. It was more of a like, nobody was scoring. It was even kill. They was going back and forth defensively. But the Detroit game was terrible. Detroit was up by 17. And it was just like, if you ever seen Space Jam, the first one, excuse me, when the Monstars came and took all the basketball players' powers, that's what it looked like to me when I was watching that game. I was disgusted. And I don't really know. And then Taylor Swift, I'm tired of seeing her. No offense to no females in here or anything going on. Taylor Swift does not do nothing footballish. But like, they even took the mother. They took the mother out of the like the shot where they showed it when Kelsey scored. The mother's not even there. The mother was getting a check from Campbell's Soup. So I want to know, is Taylor Swift gonna take the mother check? Ain't she tired of being on TV? I know, I'm just saying.
I think it's just interesting about how pop culture just spreads everywhere, and I understand what you're saying. Like, she's the girlfriend of a football player. So for football fans, I can understand the frustration. Like, you're there to see the game, you're there to see the players or the people, like the mothers of the players and whatnot. But when you have celebrities, superstars coming in, and now it seems to be all about them, because now people are saying it's Taylor Swift's Super Bowl. And I don't like that. I don't like that because it feels like it's such a diss to the hardworking football players who've been playing football, who've been training, who've been doing everything. And now it's just like they're a second thought because Taylor Swift is going to the Super Bowl when she's really not going to the Super Bowl, right? So do you guys think that we have an obsession with celebrities and we have an obsession with Hollywood and you know, the reach is so far and so wide and so long. I don't think this happens in other countries, guys. I don't think when Victoria Beckham was going to games with Beckham that they were even remotely mentioning her. You know, I think this is just an American thing. And how do you guys feel about that? I don't like it at all. I think it takes away the attention from the hardworking football players who've been training all year for this big moment, you know?
America, the land of exploitation. As if they could exploit it for money, they're gonna do it. They said since she been at the games, the NFL made about $330 million.
Wow.
It says since she started coming to the games, the NFL made 330, yeah, $33 million. It's crazy. So it's like I would just say I don't mind seeing her once a game, but it's like every time they show her, Jesus Christ. Like even if Kelsey don't catch a pass, they show her. Like it's like, is it in the TV doing to show her? And I tell people, stop idolizing people all the time. That's not the right way to live. So,
But I think like the whole culture, I was thinking about this the other day because you and I, we are live streamers on the Plenty of Fish and Meet Me apps, and I'm also on TikTok. And I feel like I was just lying there the other day thinking about things. And I said, you know, in America, the height of I've made it, the way we have it set up right now, the height of I've made it is I'm popular and I have a large following.
yeah, that's
When
the
did that come about? Because I remember back in the day, remember I'm 46, right? So I remember back in the day, the height of I made it is I have a business that's successful, that pays the bills and allows me free time to spend with my family and my friends. And we can do things that usually were not documented for social media. When did it change, guys, to the point where now it's I've made it. It doesn't matter if I live in the basement of my family's house and I don't have a job, but I have 200 million diamonds and 100,000 followers. That don't seem like I've made it.
tell you attention is a new currency. So you did if that's the times that we living in, then you did make it. Honestly saying like to them type of people, but at the end of the day, man, I'm gonna explain something to you, right? All right, I'm from the other side of the tracks, right? So when you first hustle, right? When you hustling, right? You 9 times out of 10, the first thing you get is a car, right? That's not the first thing I bought. I had a crib first because I used to hear a lot of females in circles talking about, yo, this nigga this guy getting all this money and he buy his mother crib or this and that. It's like reverse now. It's like now people are about a car first, get the chain first, because they want to be seen, and that's just where we at right now.
Yeah, Candy said you made it where though? Can you use your top badge at the grocery store? Speak about it. And it doesn't feel as fulfilling because like I do have a top badge on one app and a royal badge on the other, but it doesn't feel as fulfilling as say 15 years ago when I started my first business, you know, and I had money coming in paying bills. And I would remember a Friday night, I could sit at home with my kids and watch a movie and feel content that, you know, we had our bills paid, we could afford a nice meal, we could afford to like buy some pay-per-view, you know, it felt great. And now like these things are, it feels more great online, but it doesn't feel great in real life, you know? Outside of these apps, no one knows who they are or what diamonds mean. But for the people that are on these apps, the TikTok, the Plenty of Fish, the Meet Me and all of that, it's so much life. You know, it's so much life. And that's a sad thing to me. That is a sad thing to me. So I think like basically what I'm trying to say is that week that I was sick and I was just lying in bed and I was too sick to get on streams. I was too sick to even like hold my phone to just look at a screen, to look at other people's streams. I was just lying by myself in my bedroom, staring out the window, thinking about life. And I was thinking to myself, we've really lost it, like the whole meaning of what this is, what life is. And I'm just trying to find my way back. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I've been saying that. Like, I knew it was crazy when me and my friends used to come to my house and we all be sitting there and they'll all be in their phones. I be like, yo, bro, y'all could go home for all that. Like, it's just it's the way we're feeded things, like the way they give us things. It's so fast that everybody don't want to miss nothing. Everybody got to fear missing out on the low. And you gotta just none of this really mean nothing if it ain't helping nobody. Like, I mean, and then when you do turn off this phone, you really gotta go back to your regular life. And I hope that's okay for you. And I hope that's everything you like, whatever you're portraying on the app or whatever you're not portraying on the app. I just hope that when you turn off the app, that you're okay and you understand that you're, living a healthy, functional, normal life.
That's it. Candy says, I can't stand when I go on a date and a man is on his phone. Yeah, I think the reason why a lot of people don't date anymore is because they don't know how to sit across a table from each other and just have a conversation. It's like, well, what are we going to talk about?
That's true.
Thank you. So
It's
moving
good.
along, we're actually gonna talk about streaming now, being that we are streamers, and this was a great segue topic into streaming. Unless you had some other topics about current events you wanted to talk about.
Nah, you good.
And if anybody in the comments have a current event topic you want to talk about, please feel free to throw it out and let us know, and we will be happy to bring it up and talk about it. But in streaming news, for those of you that are listening in and don't know anything about streaming, we are on an app called the Plenty of Fish app. It's a live streaming app where you can meet people. It's kind of like a Facebook Live, like a YouTube or Instagram Live, where you have like this stream and people come in and talk and chat and whatever. And live streaming really took off in the pandemic when we weren't allowed to physically be with each other. So it was a way for us all to kind of get together. And it's the funny thing is it's the politics of streaming has gotten really, really crazy. And I find that if you don't know who you are, it's very easy to get sucked in. So basically this week, Plenty of Fish has people are funnily saying divorced from Meet Me. Meet Me is one app, Plenty of Fish is another app. They used to be together and now they're no longer together. So it was a big, big upset for a lot of streamers because let's say I'm a Plenty of Fish streamer and then a lot of my gifters or my friends might have been on Meet Me. So there was like a big divide. And a lot of people were trying to figure out what to do. At first, I was only going to stay with Plenty of Fish, but then I was like, you know what? That's not fair to my Meet Me people. I also have some of my fan bases on Meet Me, so I decided to make a double account, and it was really cool because the very first night I streamed on Meet Me, I got to meet one of the Meet Me admins, and they were so nice and so amazing in just welcoming me back to the app and chatting with me and everything. But the one thing I noticed is that there was a little bit of pettiness, you know. They made they made a gift. They made a gift of the plenty of fish being eaten by a shark, and and I'm all for fun and games and stuff like that. But my question to everybody in the comments is, do you feel that with something so big, two apps being separated and all the drama that comes with that, do you think the drama should stay with the streamers, or do you think, yeah, the admin should jump into and take part in it?
It's marketing is crazy these days. That's basically what I gotta say. It's not like how it used to be, where it's honor. You hear Wendy's writing diss songs for McDonald's. You hear Arby's sound Pusha T to do a diss song on all of them. So it's like it's competition. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, both apps is cool. You understand? But if I guess we'll say Meet Me is mad because they probably lost a lot of business with POF.
Well, you know what's funny? So Candy said they're basically kids themselves. They love the drama. And I agree with that. I think both sides have been kind of like making jabs at the other side and whatnot. But can I tell you guys something? Again, giving my age, I'm 46. When I was in college, way back when, over 20 years ago, I did take a marketing course. And the one thing I was told was it was bad business to make fun of your competition. Like it was actually a rule back in marketing back in the day that if you're McDonald's, you don't say anything bad about Wendy's. If you're Wendy's, you don't say anything bad about Burger King. It was like the etiquette. The etiquette of making an ad was don't do it. It's frowned upon. That seems to have gone out the window because we see it all the time, right? With companies making fun of other companies. I just yeah, it's like rivalry teams, but I don't really care for it. Do you guys like it, or do you find it interesting? I'm not really into it as much.
I mean, they probably don't have as much incentives. It's it's like low hanging fruit kind of the gift dissing. But they probably don't have incentives like that, like what POF maybe have, or I don't really know. So they probably got to be like, all right, we're gonna put out a gift. It's tactics to everything. I'm not saying they right, but in this day and age, drama sells. And
Well,
that's
that's a given. Look at what's going on with Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, right? Like all of this drama, and I'm pretty sure that their sales of their records are doing great, right?
I mean, I mean, I don't with that, like I don't know what started the beef between Nicki and Megan, but it's like to me, it's like it's good for as long as it's music, it's good for music, even though Nicki is trash. I didn't even like Megan Thee Stallion, but Megan Thee Stallion this record is better than Nicki's.
That just
And
was
and
crazy. The
and
Megan's Law.
yeah,
Ooh.
and Nicki just need to like just be humble. Some people don't know how to be humble. Some people feel like she's still where she was 10 years ago. Um, it's mad female rappers now. It's a lot of different type of music. So she can't really feel that way the same way she felt 10 years ago where nobody can say nothing. Sometimes you gotta pick your fights. And that's basically how I feel about it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, moving right along. Welcome in, everybody. This is the Rumor Mill podcast show with Uma and Big Rosé. We're so glad to have you guys here with us, and we hope you're enjoying the conversations. Feel free to join in the conversations at any point in time. We talked about a couple of current events, we talked about streaming, and now we're going to come down to love and dating. Do you have a topic, Rosé? I always do this to him because he never does. He never likes this part of our podcast. He's like, why do we have to talk about love and relationships? I'm like, because everybody wants to know about love and relationships.
But that's oversaturated too. Go ahead. But I mean, it's part of the podcast.
I don't think love and relationships are oversaturated though, because think about it. We are streamers on dating apps, one. Two, people are always talking about love and relationships because the majority of people are single. So don't you feel like, say for instance, somebody like you and me who found love in the online world, shouldn't we try to like give people ideas or hints or advice about how we found love to kind of help them out so that they can find love too?
We could tell them our story, but everybody's different, yo. I tell people all that all the time. When just because now I'm not knocking everybody that be having all the podcasters where they be giving this man and this woman, yada yada. That might be right for them. Tell you everybody's not the same. And that's the problem. People think that, oh, this person is they talking what I want to hear, but maybe a partner is not the same. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all gotta find something.
That's why I like how we give advice, because when people write in or ask us questions and stuff, I think like we give advice that's specific to people, and it's not like a cookie cutter one fit for everything, right? And I think that's what people like our advice. Okay, so we did have a question. Someone asks, if you're dating a person and they say they want to wait until marriage to have relations, how would you respond? So I think this would be great for me to respond as a woman and you to respond as a man. Do you want to go first?
I'm not doing that. I respect the person, but I'm not in the place of that. Like, cause I seen a whole bunch of my friends take girls on trips, do all this, and when they finally got it, it wasn't even all that, and it wasn't even something that they could work with. It's just like, nah, this is bad. So like, I'm a person. If you buy a car or you buy a house, right? These is big purchases in life, probably two of your biggest purchases. Don't you get to see the house first? Don't you get to test drive the car first? I'm not knocking nobody for their religious beliefs or whatever they got going on, but that's just not me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Candy said no, thank you. And I'm with you and Candy on this one. I feel that it depends on how important sex is to you. So if you're a person where sex is not that important, more something else, maybe it's financial stability, maybe it's do our families get along, maybe it's the religion or the education. If that's more important to you, then I can see somebody saying, yeah, I don't mind, we can wait till marriage to have that. That's fine. But for somebody like me, where, that is a very important part of my relationship because it's the way I connect to my partner, I would want to make sure that we are compatible in that area. And if we are compatible in that area, then that would be like a green light to go ahead to further the relationship, you know? So it's a no for me about waiting until marriage to have that, because that is too important for me to leave to chance. Could you imagine you marry someone, you think you have your dream person, and then it's like, wah, wah, wah.
How you go all that time without doing that?
I don't know.
It's too,
I personally don't
it's
know.
too, it's too much. It's too much free spirited people and like free will people that don't live in that old like that that Bible. Not no disrespect to the Bible, but that like control, like that sense of control of where you like, oh, I gotta be married, I gotta nah, bro. That's clip. I don't think it's that much more people that live like that.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just
there's a
saying.
lot, there's a lot of like born again women that have had a past, not a promiscuous past, but have had a past, and now they're looking for love again. They feel that this is the way to get to marriage because they've been dating guys that have been non-committal. So they feel like, well, maybe if I hold out and say I'm not doing that, then it's going to get me the ring. But yeah, Candy's like, I think that's worse. I think
That's,
that's worse too. That's, to me, that's a little bit of emotional blackmail that
yeah, listen.
women are doing.
That's like if I was a kid and my mother give me an iPad and I open up the plastic and then she take it back from me. Nah, bro. What you mean? That don't work like that. It's like, bro, bro. Like, how could you say you're born again? Once you touch, you touch. I don't care how long ago it was. You've been touched. You know the sex experience. What if I'm a person that you understand that never had the sex experience, and you're taking that away from me because I wanted to be our first experience together? So that's wrong because that's a lie.
Yeah, but some people, they run with that. And that's the thing that you got to be aware of is like the way people think. That's why I say you got to like line up with people who have the same thinking like you. If you're getting with somebody who's a strictly religious person and believe in all of that, we can't knock it, but we need to let them find the person that believes in that with them as well, you know? All right.
Mm.
Next question. You find out that your significant other has been communicating with an ex. Would this bother you? Why or why not?
It depends.
I was gonna say it
I mean,
depends.
I don't really communicate with my exes, but you have an ex you communicate with, a couple of them.
A
But
couple of them. I do.
I think it depends on the security of. I mean, yeah, I do talk to my son's mother too, so I guess you could say that. But I mean, like an ex without no kids. Somebody might ask me for some advice about something, but a constant talking, I'm not talking to nobody constantly. It might be an out the blue call to be like, yo, you good, just to check on you, I probably, that's okay, but it really depends on your significant other's is security, like if they insecure, stuff like that. Because then if they are, or is your ex worth messing up your future? Like that's the whole thing there. You
Yeah.
understand? But I don't really have no big issue with it though. As long as my partner don't. I don't care.
I think it comes
Honestly.
down to communication because for me, I talk to my children's father, not all the time, just when it comes to, again, matters concerning the children. And the only ex that I'm friendly with all my exes, meaning that if I was to see them on the street, I would say hello and I wouldn't have a problem saying, hey, how are you? What's going on? That's what I mean when I say I'm friendly with all my exes. I don't actually talk to any of my exes. Like I had an ex reach out to me for my birthday and wish me happy birthday. And I hadn't heard from him in like 2-3 years. So that was pretty cool, that he remembered my birthday and he said hello. And I don't think he remembered my birthday because he's on Facebook. So Facebook tells you it's this person's birthday. But the only ex that I really am in communication with and not really in communication with is my recent ex because we both are streamers and he wants my help with streaming. Like he asks for advice concerning streaming. But when I say I talk to this person like maybe once every 3 weeks, that's being generous. We don't talk like that. It's just hey, what's going on with, like, today actually I saw him in my stream for the first time in like 2 or 3 weeks, like I said. So that's the only thing, but it's just because we're on a similar app and we share that. But if we weren't on a similar app and share that, we probably wouldn't be talking. Because I agree with you. I think like I like to be on a friendly level with my exes. I like for that to end. But I think like your attention should be on the person that you're with, because they had their time, it didn't work out, and now it's like, you know, you gotta
And
you gotta pay attention to the person that you're with. So if I find out that my man is talking to an ex, I would kind of want to know like what's the story, what's the situation. If he's like, "Oh, this is somebody I dated in high school and she just came back to the neighborhood and hit me up to be like, "Hey, what's going on?" That's harmless. But if they're like talking every day and stuff, I'll be like, "Are you guys trying to reconnect? Like what's the situation?" Candy says, "I don't like to burn bridges, so I'll always try to stay cordial from a distance. You never know when you need someone." That is a big, big fact. I had an ex one time. Um, we were dating when we were younger, and then we broke up, and I hadn't heard from this man in 20 years. And he had married, moved on, and then him and his wife were having problems. And I don't know why, but he thought about me and he reached out to me, and he wanted like advice because he wanted to be a better man, and he felt like I knew him really well. And I did help as much as I could. And I told him like where I felt, when it was concerning me and him, I felt like where he could have been a better partner. And you know what? That dude took my advice, went back, and now him and his wife are happy. From what I see on Facebook, they're happy, and they're thriving and stuff. So maybe you could be a blessing to somebody if you could like just hold space and be there for that person. I don't know.
that's a good answer.
So, all right. So now we end it by asking you guys in the comments if you have any questions for us. This is Uma and Rosé, the RUMA Mill with Uma and Rosé. And we are here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do a live show, so you can watch us live either on the apps or on YouTube, and put your questions in the comments for us about any of the topics that we discussed. And if we don't have anybody, which we don't right now, we are going to end our show. Rosé, do you have any big news, announcements, anything that you want to say? Say it with your chest.
Man, I want us to do my sports show, but until the app is better, I don't think we should do it.
I think you should just do it. Like, I think you should.
Nah, 'cause like you said, in the room talking to nobody. Um,
But if you double stream,
um, I don't have to. I can't do that like that. I'm not there yet, like how you are.
oh,
Probably soon, but
so Kyle said it's the lagging in and out for me. Yeah,
yeah, it's like I kept seeing your stream go in and out too. It's like I don't know.
I'm struggling tonight. Your stream is glitching in and out. Oh man, I apologize, guys. But like I said, with the apps, they're they're trying. They're trying, and we're trying to hold space while they're trying. But eventually we're just gonna all be like, F it, just and just stop streaming. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for
Yo,
joining
this
us.
this was a good show. Yo, I hope y'all appreciate the topics what we talked about, like how we answered the questions, everything. Like this is doing good. I like it. It's calm. I like calm things. You feel me?
And
Yeah.
that is Big Rosé. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.